What if an entire mountain wasn't carved by human hands, but became a silent reminder of a single night that changed everything? Hidden deep within the lush forests of northeastern India stands a place unlike any other on Earth. Towering stone faces watch from ancient cliffs. Giant rock carvings emerge from the mountainside as if frozen in time. For centuries, travelers, historians, and pilgrims have stood before them asking the same question. Who created them, and why? Local tradition tells a far more extraordinary story.
It speaks of a night when Lord Shiva journeyed through these hills, accompanied by an immense divine procession.
Before everyone rested, he gave only one simple instruction: be ready before sunrise. When dawn arrived, only Shiva continued his journey. Everyone else was left behind forever.
Some believe those silent figures carved into the mountain are connected to that ancient legend.
Others see them as masterpieces created by forgotten artists whose identities disappeared with time.
So what really happened at Unakoti? Is it a remarkable achievement of ancient craftsmanship, or a legend that has survived for centuries because it still refuses to be forgotten? Tonight, we follow the trail through mist-covered forests, weathered stone faces, and one of India's greatest mysteries. Because sometimes, history ends long before written history recorded the kingdoms of this region. The hills of present-day Tripura were already wrapped in mystery. Dense forests covered the mountains. Ancient rivers carved their way through the valleys. Thick morning mist drifted silently between.
Towering cliffs, making the landscape feel almost untouched by time. According to a centuries-old local legend,
It was through these sacred hills that Lord Shiva once traveled on his way toward Mount Kailash.
behind him stretched an enormous divine procession. Gods, goddesses, celestial beings, sages,
and heavenly attendants moved together across the rugged landscape. The mountains echoed with distant chants.
The forests remained perfectly still, as though nature itself was watching the procession pass.
After traveling for countless miles, the group finally reached a quiet mountain surrounded by ancient forests and towering cliffs.
By towering rock faces and ancient trees. The journey had been long. Night was beginning to fall. It was time to rest. No one in that divine procession could have imagined that this ordinary night would become one of the most enduring legends ever connected to Unakoti.
Darkness slowly settled across the mountains. The stars appeared one by one above the silent valley.
While a cool wind moved gently through the ancient trees, the entire divine procession prepared to rest after an exhausting journey. Before anyone closed their eyes.
Be peaceful, my children.
Yet those words would become the heart of a legend remembered for centuries. Before the first light of dawn, everyone must be awake. The instruction was simple. When the sun began to rise, the journey would continue immediately toward Mount Kailash. No delays, no excuses. Every divine traveler agreed without hesitation. After all, what could possibly prevent celestial beings from waking before sunrise?
One by one, the sacred fires faded. The chants disappeared into the night.
Only the whisper of the wind remained, while the first hours before dawn quietly drew closer.
That silent night was counting down to a moment that would change the fate of an entire divine procession forever.
Hours passed in complete silence. The moon slowly disappeared beyond the distant hills. And the first faint colors of dawn began to spread across the eastern sky. As the legend tells it,
Lord Shiva was the first to awaken. Without hesitation, he prepared to continue the sacred journey toward Mount Kailash, just as he had instructed the others the night before. He looked across the resting procession. Everything was still. No voices, no movement. One by one, the divine travelers remained asleep.
Yet not a single one had risen. According to the local tradition, the instruction had been clear. Whoever failed to awaken before dawn would be left behind. So as the first rays of sunlight touched the mountain, the ascetic leader continued the journey alone, and the valley fell into an almost impossible silence, according to the legend, would never be broken again. As the sun climbed above the mountains, something extraordinary is said to have happened. According to the ancient local legend,
the sleeping divine procession never awoke. Instead,
The valley that had echoed with sacred chants only hours before was now silent.
where living beings had rested, there now stood forms that would endure for generations.
local tradition says this is how the mountain became forever linked with the countless stone figures seen at Unakoti.
The name itself deepens the mystery. Unakoti is commonly understood to mean one less than a crore.
A number that has inspired many stories and interpretations over the centuries.
Some believe the countless carvings symbolize that vast gathering described in local tradition.
Others believe the name carries a deeper spiritual meaning that has been lost with time.
Whatever its true origin may be, one question still refuses to disappear.
Then who carved these monumental faces into solid rock? And why was this remote mountain chosen above all others?
Today, anyone who visits Unakoti is greeted by a breathtaking sight.
Pictures covered with enormous carvings that seem to emerge directly from the mountain itself.
Some figures stand several stories high. Others remain hidden beneath thick vegetation, revealed only after a careful walk through the ancient hills. The most striking among them,
plaques of white rundown. The most striking among them is a colossal face widely identified as Lord Shiva.
and its commanding presence overlooks the valley, as though silently watching every visitor who arrives. Surrounding it are numerous other carved figures, each with its own unique details and artistic style.
No inscription clearly tells who created them. No surviving record explains exactly when all of them were carved.
For generations, these unanswered questions have inspired both devotion and curiosity.
Because whether one sees them as sacred symbols, remarkable works of ancient art, or echoes of an enduring legend, Unakoti continues to guard its greatest secret.
In complete silence. While the legend has been passed down for generations, history offers a different path in the search for answers. Archaeologists and historians generally believe
the carvings at Unakoti were created by skilled artisans, most likely between the 7th and 9th century CE.
Although their exact age remains uncertain. Unlike many ancient temple sites,
no inscription has ever been found that clearly identifies the creators or explains why this mountain was chosen.
That absence of evidence has only deepened the mystery. The carvings display extraordinary craftsmanship. Massive stone intricate ornaments and remarkable details were carved directly into solid rock.
Creating monuments of this scale would have required years of planning, patience,
and exceptional skill. Yet after centuries of research, one important question still remains unanswered.
Who were the artists capable of creating something so extraordinary?
Pictures and perca. And why did they leave behind almost no record of themselves? Sometimes
the greatest mysteries are hidden, not by darkness, but by the silence of history.
If these magnificent carvings were truly created by human hands, then another mystery begins.
Who was the master artist behind Unakoti? According to local tradition, one story speaks of a gifted sculptor.
According to one local tradition, a gifted master sculptor dreamed that his work would be remembered for generations.
According to one local legend, the master sculptor was given an extraordinary challenge. It had to be completed before sunrise.
He had to carve 1 crore sacred images into the mountain. Only then
would he be allowed to join the divine procession. Throughout the night,
the sound of chisels echoed across the valley. Stone after stone, figure after figure.
The mountain slowly transformed into a vast gallery of sacred carvings. But as dawn approached,
the impossible task remained unfinished. Just one final image was still missing. According to the legend, only one less than 1 crore figures had been completed. And many believe
that is how the place came to be known as Unakoti.
Whether this story reflects history or simply another legend woven into these ancient hills, no one can say for certain. Standing before the cliffs of Unakoti, it is difficult to believe
that these carvings have endured for more than 1,000 years.
Monsoon rains have poured over them. Powerful winds have swept across these hills.
Earthquakes, changing seasons, and the passage of time have reshaped the landscape around them. Yet many of the massive stone faces still remain. Some carvings have been softened by time.
Others are slowly disappearing beneath roots, moss, and thick forest. It almost feels
as though nature itself is trying to reclaim the mountain, while the mountain quietly
refuses to let its story disappear. Every crack in the rock, every weathered surface,
and every fading detail speaks of centuries passing in silence. Perhaps that is what makes Unakoti so extraordinary.
It is not only the scale of the carvings or the legends surrounding them, but the fact that they continue to stand.
Watching generation after generation pass by, as though the mountain itself
is preserving a memory that no written record could ever fully explain.
The deeper researchers explore Unakoti, the more they discover that this place exists at the meeting point of 2 worlds.
One belongs to history, the other belongs to legend. History studies the stone, the tools, the artistic style, and the age of the carvings. Legend remembers something entirely different, a sacred journey.
A promise made before sunrise, and a mountain forever transformed.
They have lived side by side for centuries, shaping the way generations understand this extraordinary place.
For pilgrims, Unakoti is a sacred destination. For archaeologists, it is an invaluable cultural treasure.
For travelers, it is one of India's most unforgettable landscapes. And for those who love mysteries,
It is a place where every answer seems to uncover another question. Perhaps that is why people leave Unakoti with photographs in their hands, but far more questions in their minds. Walk through Unakoti at sunrise, and the silence feels almost unreal. A gentle mist drifts between the ancient cliffs. Birdsong echoes through the forest.
Crystal clear water flows over weathered stone, just as it has for centuries. For a brief moment.
It becomes easy to understand why these mountains inspired so many stories.
The enormous stone faces seem to gaze across the valley without expression.
Their features remain calm, unchanged by the passing of time. To some visitors,
they are extraordinary examples of ancient rock-cut art. To others, they are sacred symbols of faith and devotion.
And for many, they are reminders that legends often preserve something deeper than historical facts alone.
The beliefs, the imagination, and the cultural memory of the people who passed these stories from one generation to the next. Whether viewed through archaeology or through tradition, Unakoti continues to ask the same timeless question.
What happened here that people are still talking about it after more than 1,000 years?
Centuries have passed. Kingdoms have risen and disappeared. Empires have changed. Generations have come and gone. Yet Unakoti still stands, wrapped in quiet silence. Its towering stone faces continue to watch over the forest, revealing just enough to inspire wonder, but never enough to solve the mystery completely. Perhaps the legend of Lord Shiva and the sleeping divine procession is exactly that, a legend lovingly preserved through centuries of storytelling. Or perhaps
it reflects memories of a distant past that history can no longer fully explain. The truth may never be known with certainty.
But maybe that isn't the true purpose of places like Unakoti. Some places are not meant to answer every question.
They exist to remind us that history, faith, art, and legend, and sometimes the greatest mysteries are not the ones we solve, but the ones that continue to inspire us. Generation after generation, even today, people from across India travel through the forests of Tripura to witness Unakoti with their own eyes.
Some arrive as pilgrims. Some come as historians. Others simply come searching for answers. But almost everyone leaves with the same feeling: that this mountain is far more than a collection of ancient carvings.
It is a place where history, faith, art, and legend continue to exist side by side.
New discoveries will finally reveal who carved these extraordinary figures. Or perhaps
the mystery will remain forever hidden within these ancient cliffs. Until then, Unakoti will continue to stand in silence, guarding one of India's most fascinating stories. Because every ancient place has a story, but only a few leave behind questions that time itself cannot answer. As the evening mist slowly returns to the hills of Unakoti,
the towering stone faces fade into the shadows once again. The forest grows quiet. The sound of flowing water becomes the only reminder that time is still moving forward.
Yet these ancient carvings remain exactly where they have stood for centuries.
Watching countless generations arrive, wonder, and quietly leave. Perhaps that is the true power of Unakoti. It doesn't ask you to choose between history and legend.
It invites you to explore both, to admire the extraordinary skill that shaped these monumental carvings.
while also appreciating the stories that have kept this place alive in people's hearts for generations. Because sometimes, facts explain how a monument was created, but legends remind us why people never forgot it. And maybe that is why Unakoti continues to fascinate the world.
Not because every mystery has been solved, but because a few mysteries are timeless.
The mystery of Unakoti may never be completely solved. And perhaps that is exactly what makes this place so unforgettable. Long after the footsteps of travelers fade away,
The silent stone faces remain, watching, waiting, keeping their secrets hidden. Maybe the greatest mystery isn't whether every legend is literally true. Maybe it's why stories like these continue to survive for hundreds, even thousands.
For centuries, these questions have remained. What memories were they trying to preserve? What truths have been lost with time?
those are questions that still inspire historians, archaeologists, storytellers,
and curious minds around the world. Because every mystery we solve reveals another one waiting beyond it.
And somewhere, deep within the forests of Tripura, the silent faces of Unakoti continue their endless watch.
Waiting for the next traveler to ask the same ancient question: what really happened here?